All right, let's continue this long trip, getting closer, not to my home, but it feels like my home in many ways. Carrier that I once left a nice little um, luxury cruiser on, and I left it behind me as I journeyed off to deep space. The irony is it's now further out into deep space than I am because the carrier was on uh, part of, I don't know what they're doing, to be honest. I don't even know what carrier it is. I just know they're there right now, and I hope they don't move before I get there. I'll tell you what I mean. Down to 140 jumps. I've noticed that number, if I were to like close the game right now and come back in like 4 hours, it was very late at night. I think it's even late in Britain. I don't know. The thing is that you can get different numbers depending on the time of day that you run it. It's like their equation will work a little harder for you if there's less players on the system. So it varies with server load. And in general, you'll get your best routes when the server load is very weak. And sometimes the routes won't plot at all. Like this sort of path could be deemed impossible because their server won't put the effort in to go this far. Now I'm close enough, so that's generally not as big an issue. Now, I gotta use a mouse. We know what ship it is. I really think it's a luxury cruiser. And yeah, it was on a carrier. Now the carrier is further out into Mare Somnia. Look how close I am. Wow, if I had dipped into the panhandle more properly, I would be out of Sagittarius Arena and already in the same sector. So wow, I feel like so close. But it's amazing. I'm gonna have to pass through another core. Now this core is a lot thinner than certainly the core of the galaxy. But I have ventured to crossing that gap is really challenging because this ship only has about a 30 light year jump range. So it's like over here is impassable. And you can see how it's a little sparser on the outer arm, making this gap bigger and smaller in areas. This was the first part where I was able to actually find the gap. What are these? I don't know what I would call. I found some planet over here that I love. I would love to build the star system there. Some of these from the core. I use the buttons. I don't know how the mouse works. Don't know why I would have marked this one. Scan? That doesn't sound like me. I might have stored something here, and I don't even recall what. Where am I? It's the same one. Booms, holes. Oh, that's the sector that it's in, I think. Well, that's too bad. Somewhere out here I found was the first to discover several systems with like two Earth-like worlds. What was I even doing? Okay, yeah, that's right. I might as well refuel. Seems like I'm kind of low. I wonder. I forget how to monitor my YouTube. from one computer. Oh, what are you doing? I've been meaning to change the batteries in my controller, and I think I paid the price right there. We'll finish this, and then I'll go get some batteries. Heating up too fast, unfortunately. Radar. Pull up a little bit. You know, I didn't ever notice my fuel scoop performing worse, even while it's percentage points over here in the modules panel. You should probably pay attention. Maybe I shouldn't. Looks like I was doing pretty well. Anyway, so over here. See how I had to use my hand in an unconventional way to do this. Like my fuel scoop was down to 80%. It's not like it performed any worse. It pays to have one of these game controllers and memorize it. I think that this is as bad as the Ocean's Gate disaster was. So they even called themselves Ocean Gate. I mean, you already have the word gate in your name. But I'm sure the future of spacecraft will have, like, this is what drone controllers are. They're very handy. And then sometimes you have to use your hands in really unconventional ways, but it pays off. You know, when you see all these people like blowing away new records in Tetris, whole new ways of using their game controller. So like when I was looking at that module panel, I was steering with my left thumb, but I was using my fingers over here on the direction pad in order to manipulate the menu. I'm going to use this moment to figure out how to figure out what's going on in my YouTube. If anything, studio mode. Alright, I'm going to open Firefox. That is cooler proof. Fine. Firefox. Easier to navigate YouTube to get where I need to be. And mute myself. Even pause my own stream. Yes. Alright, well this will be a short stop. Actually, now that I think about it, it's a good idea not to pause my own stream while I'm watching it, because I can see if something bad is happening. Now the trick is to manipulate OBS. Well, I guess I don't have to watch OBS if I'm watching part of my YouTube. Then I also need Elite Observatory core visibility to help me with my Exo Biology. Wow, this makes for quick navigation. Try adjusting this blue light. So he's melting into it. I think blue looks more blue when it's a little dark. Alright, so get a little further distance away from the star that I first arrived by. And then scan the heavens. 8 celestial bodies. Binary orbit here. Nothing particularly interesting. They don't even pay well for empty bodies. High middle content worlds are more valuable. Binary orbits.
System scan complete.
Alright, let's get out of here.
Frameshift drive charging.
Alright. Seems like this is going pretty fast, and hopefully it keeps up this pace. I can get to that carrier. I have so much data to unload. And I want to see how much my exobio ended up being worth. Now this trip was only about 450 jumps. I went from the center of the second arm out to the center of the third arm. I'm actually going to go past the center of the third arm. 450 jumps on this part.
Body 3. Carbon dioxide atmospheric
Yeah, we're
landable
going
with
there.
life. May host a new personal codex entry and has high biological value.
It might have stratum, it might not have stratum, I think, is what I'm reading. And the stratum is worth a lot. There's actually quite a few signals there, so it's not too difficult. It'd probably be worth it to get them all. That worked. Okay. Usually the sun would obscure it. The star would just obscure it. I think even if it's not behind the star. I've never tested that.
Body 2. Ammonia atmospheric landable with life.
Stratum.
Has high biological value.
Oh, definitely a stratum.
System scan complete.
Okay, first off, we'll go to the one with the 6 biosignals. Oh, I guess we'll go to 2. And then 3. Oh, let's look at the system map. They're in opposite directions. Oh well. Let's just pick one. We'll go to 3 first. Well, okay. We'll go to 2 first, because I'm apparently heading towards 2. Well, maybe not. Maybe I'm heading away from everything. Moving far too fast. Look cool. I reacted to the text changing. Need to wait till it changes color. Pretty atmosphere.
Surface scanned by 50%.
Body 2.
Surface scan
Has high
complete.
biological value.
Alright, we pretty much have to keep going until we come on to the sunny side at this point.
Orbital flight engaged.
Nintendo. All right. I don't think I meant to go by that giant crater to the left. Um, Pretty sure I'm supposed to stay towards the right. Oh, there's some stratum right straight ahead. Stratum's usually pretty easy to find. I guess I'm not worried about it. All the stratum will be mine.
No gravity warning.
Got my headlights were on. And my ship. That was actually a brilliant landing, if I say so myself. So smooth. After throwing myself under this rocky surface.
Stratum tectonicas confirmed present. Base value 19.01 million, minimum sample distance 500 meters. First partial sample collected.
Handbrake is on.
So I can control myself somewhat, what direction I'm going. By looking in that direction and using those jets. So. I wish it was the same buttons to use the camera for the car as it was for the ship. Not far enough yet. Maybe now?
Minimum distance reached. You've traveled over 500 meters from previous sample. Second partial sample collected.
Go this way to see if my spaceship doesn't fly off without me. So I think there's also bacterium. I haven't seen any. Often bacterium grows in the same place as stratum does.
Minimum distance reached.
There's some bacterium,
You've
right?
traveled
No.
over 500 meters
That
from
is also
previous
stratum.
sample. Sample collection complete.
Beautiful terrain. I love how visible it is in the daylight. I think neon atmosphere. Oops. Let me get my vehicle. It's a lot safer. And I also know how to use it better. Look at the nav tools. Ammonia and atmosphere.
Handbrake is on.
Which, yeah, has a lot of nitrogen, but ammonia is its own thing. I haven't seen any bacteria. Ouch. Yeah. When I can't clearly see the dome of this stuff, it looks a lot like common bacteria. But I'm gonna head back to the ship. Oh, buddy. Keep your wheels on your feet. Oh, in my nose, right on my face. 81% hull. We're good. Heavy foot. Drive with a heavy foot. First off, let me turn off my headlights. We'll scan the planet a little bit. What I mean is we'll travel at about 80 meters above the Earth. Traveling sure around 50. Take a look and see if we see any bacteria growing below us. Alright, I'm pretty sure I haven't seen any bacteria. Wait a minute. Alright, stop. My magic drone, I guess. Alright, I'm just gonna fly away. This is too annoying. The bacterium's not gonna be worth very much either. And I haven't seen any. And the stratum looks just like it.
Landing gear retracted.
Okay, so now we want to go to planet 3. Second, let me bring up the Elite Observatory Core. Yeah, planet 3.
Cannot comply. Frameshift drive charging.
I'm unsure what the escape vector was at that point. Let's go ahead and pull away from this planet. Faster, though. I like to go until the big red field recedes. And I'll probably go in 1,000 kilometers a second when I like to adjust my trajectory more significantly. And the planet cannot be red. Alright, it's good yellow. Further away you get from the gravitational field, usually the faster to go. set Super Cruise, gonna turn off Super Cruise and go faster. Still haven't really gotten up to speed yet. Am I gonna have to fly across the sun of this system? That would be bad. Yeah, I think based on the this map, I was gonna pass really close to the star. It'd slow me down a lot. I'm gonna try to go wider. Where am I? Come on. It would be nice if it had me on there. Very beautiful. Something I really like about this game. The reason I even wanted to play it is because I sort of realized the only way I was ever going to visit a star system is if it was modeled inside a computer system. And this game does a lot of things really faithfully. And of course, we have to accept the cheating of flying faster than the speed of light in order to enjoy all these things. It provides like a pretty good meta and rule set in order to which to play this, explore this a universe, I would say. And also, I think it's like well poised to keep adding and growing more detail. Dang it, I miss.
Surface scanned by 50%.
I missed that much up there. Might not get my efficiency bonus. Oh.
Body 3.
Surface scan
May
complete.
host a new personal codex entry and has high biological value.
Oh, there's two conchas listed. Okay, so now I see there is definitely stratum of a high value. And there's also concha of, I mean, not as much as stratum, but so of course I'll prioritize the stratum. Yikes. Yeah. That's what it's like finding those two, but they grow in valleys. So there's one. Pretty sparse pickings for those two. Yeah, well, definitely spread them out.
Flight engaged.
It's funny how valuable stratum is, and how much easier it is to find. I don't really see anything obviously green. Well, I intend to find the concha and the fungoida. I saw, those really tiny crevice areas where it's likely to be found. And oftentimes, especially concha, even if you're on the sunny side of the planet, since it likes to grow right next to the bottom of cliffs, it's often very dark there anyway. And I enjoy those really difficult finds. There's just a trimmed pinky nail, a clipping of a pinky nail's worth of the plant on the world's surface. Slow down. Oh gosh. Oof. Thank you, shields. And 1% of my hull again. Ouch. Gotta roll around sometimes. What is that? I don't. Is that osseous?
Warning.
How unusual. I'll just start with this one. Yeah, I don't recall really finding ones like that before. That sort of cup top. I feel like that's new to me. We'll see if my codex says anything.
New codex entry. Osseous fractus, indigo. Osseous fractus confirmed present. Base value 4.03 million, minimum sample distance 800 meters. First partial sample collected.
Handbrake is on.
Huh. 800 meters. Well, it's highly visible when you get. It's highly visible, right? But yeah, that one seems like it might be really good with night vision. Because that highlights its form. I feel like osseous is one where I end up having to drive really great distances to find it. And in other news, I really haven't seen the stratum yet. I don't think stratum has done any favors by night vision. There's some
Minimum
more
distance
osseous.
reached. You've traveled over 800 meters from previous sample.
Handbrake is on.
Second partial sample collected.
Oh shit. We have to hurt your dang vehicle. Damn it. I thought I was like controlling my camera angle. Okay, so I don't have like the free camera. Yeah, I do. Almost killing myself throwing grenades next to you. Alright, get me out of this. Hazard of even carrying those grenades and accidentally hitting the button to throw them. Hey, there's some stratum. So that stratum grows in kind of a rocky part over there, huh? Hold up.
Cargo scoop deployed.
Collect these minerals real quick. Just having this stuff on hand is really helpful on these really long journeys. Keep my ship repaired, all that. That's no problem, right? Alright, going pretty quickly. This is great. Make sure I'm getting away from... There's more stratum around here. Alright, this won't be too hard to get the stratum. After we get the last of these weird mushrooms.
Minimum distance reached. You've traveled over 800 meters from previous sample.
Cargo scoop retracted.
No!
Sample collection complete.
I was pretty scared the first time my ship took off. I didn't know that was going to happen. Oh yeah, okay. I need to look for the bacteria I just flew. No, wait. The stratum I just saw right over on the right.
Chassis integrity compromised.
Stratum tectonicus confirmed present. Base value 19.01 million, minimum sample distance
Nice.
500 meters. First partial sample collected.
Bacterium there. Is bacterium worth much?
Minimum
No,
distance reached.
but I'll probably get it just for
You've traveled over
completion's sake.
500 meters from previous sample. Second partial sample collected. Minimum distance reached. You've traveled over 500 meters from previous sample. Sample collection complete.
All right. So we'll just find the next plant we come across and take that, make it ours.
Handbrake is on.
Which what's the bacterium I just saw? Like right back this way. There. Let's go right towards it. Oops.
Handbrake is on.
Bacterium voracious confirmed
Tussock.
present. Base value 1 million, minimum sample distance 500 meters.
I don't feel like I saw Tussock
First
much on
partial
the map
sample
either.
collected.
So maybe this is some unusual Tussock. I certainly found the osseous very quickly for how I often struggle to find it. Osseous is very visible. Osseous is very visible, but sometimes it just seems like it's like 5 kilometers apart at times.
Minimum distance reached. You've traveled over 500 meters from previous sample.
Whoa, right there. Oh, bro. What are you doing?
Integrity compromised.
Your integrity's compromised. Slow down. All right, drop.
Second partial sample collected.
Ouch. That was my whole integrity after that. Boom.
Minimum distance reached. You've traveled over 500 meters from previous sample.
I read a funny comment about Forrest Gump about how it ironically shows how people bend over backwards to see a white guy succeed while women and minorities get ground to dust. And there is a pretty valid interpretation of that movie that has that angle, I think. Oh, there's some bacterium.
Sample collection complete.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so I haven't seen any tussock around. Tussock usually grows in these same sort of areas, so I think this is a different kind of tussock than what I'm used to. And to the ship.
Ship recalled.
Wonder where it will land. Where could the tussock be? That one's more mysterious. That one is harder for me to imagine why I can't find the tussock than it is for me to understand things about the fungoidy and concha. Fungoidy and concha is behaving exactly like I expected to.
Loading gear retracted.
I have no idea where the tussock could be. Need some more altitude before I can change my sensors. Alright, let's just go find some tussock. It's obviously different from the Fungoidia and Concha. All right. Head to that blue area. So, in this planet, it's only growing in that rough area with a slightly lower altitude.
Landing gear deployed.
Really not a very big area at all. I think Tussock's kind of uncommon here. We'll have to see how bad Fungoidia and Concha is. Ah, perfect. Sometimes you just got to take advantage of that shield. All right, Tussock.
Low gravity.
Oh, there's some right here. All right, this might go pretty quick. Tussock doesn't have a very long range either, so sometimes you can get two tussock plants from the same crop area.
New codex entry. Tussock capitis, green. Tussock capitis confirmed present. Base value 3.47 million, minimum sample distance 200 meters. First partial sample collected.
All right, so it's not 300 meters.
Handbrake is on.
Minimum distance reached. You've traveled over 200 meters
Waiting
from
to hear
previous
that
sample.
important cue. Minimum distance reached.
Second partial sample collected.
Shit. Oh. Okay, I better make sure I don't have a hard
Minimum
landing.
distance reached.
I did not mean
You've
to go
traveled over
cantilever
200 meters
myself.
from previous sample.
Just flipping myself over like a catapult.
Integrity compromised.
Oh man, that could have been a lot worse if I fallen to like the center of that ravine. Oh well, that was pretty fun. But you got to be careful of that with some planets. That ravine wasn't too steep and too deep, but I have done that into far deeper canyons and chasms before. All right.
Sample collection complete.
I don't know that this place has a low enough altitude to have Concha and Fungoida for what is this planet. But this area is kind of a dip, and it has a kind of like cliff-like qualities that Concha likes. So I'm gonna go down here and look. Concha's pretty obvious with the night vision because it looks like a ball. That's Concha. Oh no, that's the cactus. Once it filled in more with detail, I could tell it was the cactus and not Concha. Oh well, too bad. Hey.
Handbrake is on.
Oh yeah.
Cargo scoop deployed.
Forward. Why can I not select you the rankings? Alright, one last vitamin. Oh, did I just hit it? Whatever.
Cargo scoop retracted.
Alright, let's actually look at it from my planetary scanner. Or do I go look down that deep, scary ravine on my own? Oh, that's where my plane is. Thinking in my head, please land. Please land. Don't just keep floating. Okay. I'm gonna look for Concha and Fulgoida. I might look for Concha and Fulgoida tomorrow so I can find everything on this planet. However, I know that there's a risk that it's going to take like several hours, and I don't think I have the stamina to do that now. It's awfully late. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Y'all have a good night.